Another season of UNCW women's soccer is upon us, and with that, another season of Keeping It Real with Coach Neal. Alongside the head coach of the Seahawks, Chris Neal, I'm Eric Rue, and Coach, it's another season. Time to get things started. You've had a couple of weeks with your team. How have things gone so far?
So far, so good. You know, we've been here 2 weeks. We've played 2 exhibitions, and we won both exhibitions. Now, results obviously don't matter at this phase of the year, but a good start's better than a bad start.
Obviously for you, it's a little bit more easier this year than it was last. When you joined the staff in July, you had a full off season, a full summer to get your team acclimated. What's that change been like for you now that you've had a full year under your belt?
Yeah, last year was chaos. The coaching staff showed up 2 weeks prior to the season. The assistant coaches showed up the week of preseason. This year it's been tremendously more manageable and predictable. And we've been able to provide for our athletes much better this preseason. So it's been calmer, to say the least.
Let's go through your exhibition schedule just a little bit. Richmond was a 5-1 win here just about 2 weeks ago. Rainy delay, nearly 2 hours, but your team was able to battle back and get a bunch of goals against the Spiders. What did you take away from that first exhibition?
I felt that we had a whole lot of players come off the bench and contribute. So I think our depth was on display against Richmond. And our entire focus was on the defending side of the ball. We're upset we didn't get a shutout. And Richmond probably could have scored a couple of more goals that day. But we put in 5 goals without focusing on attacking the first 4 days of preseason. So that was a tremendous positive as well.
Then you turn around, you have UNCG, the Southern Conference champions of a year ago, and Mother Nature decided to intervene once again, had to call off the game on Friday night. You were able to get the game in off-site on Saturday, and as we were talking before we started, you got a shutout, but you would have liked to have had a little more offense.
Yeah, we're extremely happy with the shutout, and we often use a quote. We say, look, we have to be able to win when conditions are not optimal. You know, when you go to any of the Northeast schools on turf and it might be raining or it might be cold and the crowd's heckling you, conditions aren't optimal. So we challenged our team in that UNCG game. We were playing in an off-campus site. It was wet. The field was small. And we just said, hey, here we are again. This is why we trained the way we trained. Conditions aren't optimal. Find a way to win. And we did. We didn't score as many goals as we would have liked to, but we held strong, and UNCG put us under a good amount of pressure in that second half. So it was a great preseason test, and that's what you want out of your exhibitions. You want to be tested to see how you respond. So all in all, we were real pleased with our group.
The CAA came out with its preseason order of finish and preseason all-league team last week, and Marissa Vincent got a little bit of recognition from the coaches, named to the preseason all-CAA team. What does that mean for her heading into the 2019 campaign?
Well, I think it means that she's on everyone's scouting report now, and she understands that. She's going to be a player that teams try to focus on and limit her time and space. Marissa is a very humble kid, and she just comes up to training every day and puts in work. She's so coachable. She's just a pleasant young woman, and she won't let it affect her mentality as she goes forward.
Let's take a look at your roster for the 2019 season. A lot of new faces on this roster, but a lot of veteran experience for you. How do you mix that two-group area into getting a team ready for the season?
That's going to be our biggest dilemma this year. We have depth, and player selection is going to be difficult. We've had a lot of conversations with the players about that already. You look at us, we technically, on paper, are returning 11 kids that started a whole lot of games for us last year. So we technically have 11 starters returning. And we've got a group of freshmen that came in extremely fit. We were very happy with their starting point. They were ready to play, and they were ready to contribute, and we've seen that already in the 2 exhibitions. So it's going to be difficult, and that's the hard part of coaching. Sometimes a good problem is also a bad problem. You know, depth and a lot of quality presents playing time issues, and that's something that we're going to have to navigate.
One player on your roster has had quite a busy summer. It's Sydney Schneider, and she's played in the World Cup. She's played in the Pan American Games. She came back at the start of preseason. You hadn't seen a lot of her over the summer, but obviously that work has paid off for her as she's starting to get ready for a junior campaign.
Yeah, I don't know what better preparation she could have had in the summer than playing against Brazil, playing against Italy, and in that preparation, playing against Scotland in the warm-up. Sydney's been gone a lot, you know, going all the way back to last fall. and we are very excited to have her with us this entire fall season.
Taking a look at your regular season opener this weekend, you're heading down to Charleston for the Under Armour Invitational to take on Furman on Friday, Stephen F. Austin on Sunday. As you get ready for this first road trip and now the games count, what do you try to instill on your team as you get ready for the trip?
You said it, every game counts. And I love our schedule because every opponent we play has a tradition of success and winning. And I think from an RPI standpoint, every game is going to be a battle, but every win is going to be significant in the RPI. And I think if we can do well in our non-conference segment and then obviously carry that into league play, we will be in a decent position to help our league and ourselves get a potential at-large bid. So a lot of that's out of our control, but I love our schedule because I think it's a very good RPI schedule that could put us in contention for an at-large bid if we do well.
Obviously, you want to get 2 wins this weekend in your first road trip, but what are some of the other things that you're looking for out of the team as they get started on this regular season?
Well, we're looking for professional habits, just how we travel, how we manage energy, the little details and how much work the players put in extra on the side. We're looking for full commitment. And so from this first week, it's going to be a difficult week too because we're starting class. And there's all of these new things that are happening and distractions and time management issues. So that's going to be a big focus this week.
Well, Coach, we wish you the absolute best of luck. We'll chat with you again next week as you get ready for the home opener.
Thanks, Eric.
That's head coach Chris Neal. I'm Eric Rude. Join us again next week for another edition of Keeping It Real with Coach Neal.